All right, welcome back. Dan here with Dan's Trades and another trade review video. Just want to start quick and just some level setting. I'm not selling anything. I'm not looking to start a signal service. I'm 100% documenting, journaling via video some of my trading activity. This is not meant for you to copy. I'm not a financial advisor. This is purely for education and potentially entertainment. Whether you get entertained by it, that's fantastic. Mainly for education because I'm trying to better my own personal trading and just documenting it and putting it out there, hoping it'll actually help someone else that is looking to master this as well. It is one of the most hardest things to do in the world. So if you are just starting out and you're reviewing this or whatnot, hang in there. You only lose if you quit. I've been doing this for a long time. It does not come easy, but just throwing it out there. So what I'm going to do today is play a recording of my trading this morning. As we can see here, I already have a couple trade executions entered and exited. 100% transparency. This is all obviously for my own education and edification. It helps me to go through it. Hopefully, again, it helps you. So what we see here is I took a couple trades before I had my recorder running Camtasia in this place, so I've rendered it. I'm replaying the video. Didn't have any audio. I didn't talk during it, so this is what I'm going to do here is review what I did and what I was looking at, similar to another video I've done up here already. So let's get started here, just setting the stage. We see a buy limit order sitting there at 16,720.25. We're trading the NQ today. Today is January 17th, 2024, and this is where I wanted to enter after I had already attempted to chase price and stop myself because I said, you're not supposed to do that, Dan. Don't do that. So I exited, got out with some stop losses because if you're not trading with a stop loss, you are doing yourself a disservice. So I was already in a slight drawdown. This is my 150K Combine account that you've been seeing me trading if you've seen any other videos. So I'm going to let this play and let's get started and just do some review as it goes here. All right, so 16,720.25 is where I want to enter. Price is coming down. As new traders, you typically do not want to buy something on the down. You know, people like to talk about it as catching the knife, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you will find as your best entries, or my best entries, will be on down close candles. And you want to sell for long positions on up close candles. So let's just watch this play out here. I want to get my entry. I'm looking for a retracement. There's where I've already taken my previous executions. So I'm looking to do it the right way now. And in typical fashion, human nature does always come into play. So let's see what we did here. We are looking at a 1 minute candle right now. I am basing this off of higher time frames. We've had a massive drawdown. We hit a major point of liquidity that we down in the bottom side there. So the 16,700 number was a very interesting number to watch for. Now we are reversing, so I'm looking to take advantage of that reversal and get in a long trade. That's why you see the 16,720. So I see price running away a little bit here. I'm hoping it'll come down and fill me down here at the price I want to get, which is in a fair value gap. That's not drawn out, but I am seeing it there. That's the bottom of the fair value gap, and the top is where the buy limit is. That's where I want to enter. But as I mentioned, human nature, things happen, and things happen today. We're going to see, I'm trying, look, I almost bought there, talked myself out of it, said wait for the retracement, Dan. You know, we're 30 points away from where I want to enter. I'd like to see a retracement down. It's 10:15 New York time. And human nature, yep, I chase price. So I want to get my profit. I'm thinking it's going to go right up into that area, so that's where I want to profit it. I was looking for maybe just a quick scalp. If price just shot up, how many times does it do it to you? Look at this. I entered on a market order, which gives you the worst potential fill. So I took off my buy limit where I should have entered. Just remember that's 16,920. Remember that for later. So I want to get my stops in. I want to get my profit targets in here. This is the combine, so it's trade evade. Trade evade does not let you use bracket orders or OCOs. So now I'm looking for, yeah, if we actually do get a retracement, I might scale into my position, even though I should never do that, but I did. So now I need to get a second order on for limits and stop losses. So set those, watch the trade play out. Now I've averaged into 16,749 is my average entry from those two contracts. And I start thinking about it more because obviously I'm trading too fast here because I'm doing things that I normally wouldn't do, so there's no reason to have multiple stop orders. I fixed that, just put one stop order in, and I really hate where that stop is because I know where I was initially trying to get in was that fair value, so I know that my stop needs to be below that fair value gap because price can absolutely come down into it. I'm not expecting that to be a breakaway gap. I'm expecting that to most likely get filled. That's why I wanted my initial entry to be there, 169,720. So as I'm watching this, I'm really not happy with myself right now, and I probably should just cancel the trade because I'm doing things I shouldn't do. But in my mind, I know I'm working a combine account. I know this isn't my live funds, so I'm a little bit more lenient than I should be, because I know price is going to come into this fair value gap, which is where I wanted to initially enter. So I do what you're never supposed to do. I'm going to move the stop again. I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, I'm already 78 ticks down. I got two contracts on. I got a max daily drawdown, or a daily loss limit, I should say, of $3,000 on this account. So I know that in the back of my mind that, yes, I can withdraw a little bit more drawdown. I can withstand it. So I start doing the math in my head and I say, okay, let's put this where it actually should be, down below the candles that form the fair value gap, because price should not come back down there. I don't have any other imbalances that price needs to come back to and reprice to. Price should actually come into that fair value gap where I initially wanted to enter. So that's what's running through my mind right now. So I was thinking, yeah, I should actually put these where they should be, up at the top of buy side liquidity there, and also right at an interesting point of a standard deviation. I'll save that for another day where these lines are actually coming from, but that's what those yellow lines there are standard deviation lines off of the dealing range for today. So I'm expecting price to move up after this price moved down. I was bearish on the day. We had already delivered to my bearish target. So at that point, I'm expecting a bounce, which is exactly what I'm trading right now. I see this fair value gap, I draw it out. We absolutely reacted right off of that. So I'm taking that into account now for my future trade management here. There's the fair value gap I initially targeted. Let's draw it in. Bullish fair value gap. So if price is to come down here, which is where I wanted to get in first, move it back to one contract, and I'm going to place the third contract right there. If you remember, that was my original trade plan. I had that order sitting there waiting, so I just basically recreated what you saw at the beginning of the video. So, Dan, for your personal hindsight, watching your own trade reviews, do not chase price. See, I'm helping myself here because I know price is coming down here. Why, so it's human nature. Even I still make these mistakes. So don't beat yourself up if you do. Just know you need to have a plan. You need to be prepared. And now let's watch what price is doing here. We've been in the trade a few minutes. 5 to be exact. Looking for a nice reaction off this fair value gap, which it's already starting to react, so I know this is a point of interest for the algorithm. that is running the markets. It is not buying and selling pressure. I don't care anymore what people tell me. I have seen the light. Everyone needs to do their own research and due diligence. Go into the charts and look for yourself. But if we do get a fill down here, or if we do get a trade down here, we'll have 3 contracts on, and then we'll manage it accordingly. This candle's just about done. Moving, there's a fill. All right, now we got 3 contracts on. Modify the stop order accordingly, which I believe is the max, if I do remember right, that I can have on in my combine account is 3 contracts. I think maybe that's just my own personal allowance, is I'm never going to go, like you hear people talking about trading 15 contracts. That's just ridiculous. Until you have millions of dollars of capital, should you never even be considering that. So what I want to see here is a good reaction from that fair value gap. I don't want it going down to the bottom. I don't even want to see it hitting consequent encroachment. I don't want to see halfway. I want to see price react, and I want to see price run away and spool up now. So let's see what happens. 6, 5, 4, and the closes are what matters. As you'll hear Michael say, the wicks do the damage, the bodies tell the story. And if you don't know yet, Michael J. Huddleston is the inner circle trader who defined all these concepts. So now here I'm so this is a view of my old days, modifying where entries and exits are going to be. Now I'm thinking, hey, I'm just in this. I almost want to get back out of break even. That's like the ways I used to think. So it's a battle to get rid of that in your brain and in your habits. I completely understand if you struggle with that as well. Let me get this. I can't get that out of the way. That's my other. So I'm sitting there looking right at him, holding the cursor on consequent encroachment, saying I don't want it to close below here. Yeah, if it wicks, I get it because it's very common. But back to, so there we go. We see a nice reaction, 6, 5, 4 seconds left. That's a good reaction to that fair value gap. That makes me much more inclined to stay with this trade. Again, the sell stop is below that fair value gap. If we're to go to that, I'm absolutely cutting the trade because we're going lower and my read is wrong on what the market's doing. And I'm also looking at the Dixie because we had the Dixie was moving up. Dollars moving up, indexes typically move down. We had retracements which followed the market going up there. So I'm just watching the Dixie. So always good to keep the DXY or the Dixie in mind. I wanted to see that continue down, which typically inversely correlates to indexes going up. It's not 100%. You can't just say one or the other, but there is typically a reverse correlation with the Dixie and NASDAQ and ES indexes. All right, next candle still closed above that fair value gap. No closes inside of it. That's a good sign. Let's move down to a 1 minute chart on the ES just so I can kind of see what's going on over there, as typically both instruments do track similar. Again, not identical, but similar. So now I'm getting more comfortable again. I'm getting relaxed. Say, why did I move those? I need to keep these at major areas of liquidity, so I'm moving one to that buy side liquidity and one at one of the standard deviation lines. That's a little bit better set up there. I think that price could absolutely do that. And you're watching this in hindsight, you know exactly what NQ probably did. So there's the big move down that I was bearish coming into the day based off of last night's daily candle outlook. And again, just playing the bounce. I'm looking for the bounce to happen here. We have a good setup, a good narrative for it to go higher. Now I'm happy seeing this. We're just about to break even with our 3 contracts. And now we are above break even. So I still need to make up for those 2 losses I took on the first 2 trades that you didn't see that I didn't record. So that's in my mind as well. As the old days, I would just cut bait here and say, all right, I'm back to break even. I made a mistake. I'm getting out. But now, that I've actually seen the light and starting to understand how markets work here, my trading's getting infinitely better on a daily basis. So I'm preparing to modify the stop in the event that it runs up and hits that sell limit real quick and takes me out of my first target, which is placed right at the bottom of the fair value gap that's above us there. So that's my first exit point. And I'm going to sit here and get ready to change that 3 to a 2. Once it hits, we see we're 30-ish ticks, 20, 35 ticks in profit there. So keeping an eye on that. Once that sell limit order executes, we'll modify this down to 2. That's my only thing that I do not like right now about trading the combine, as it is based on trade of 8, which I was referring to earlier and then I got sidetracked, is they don't let you place the take profits and the stop losses like you can in like the paper accounts or other brokers' accounts. Now my TradeStation account, which you'll see me switch over to sometime, does let you do that, so it's so much easier. I mean, it's just the small things that make a big difference. All right, now here we are coming down right to my break even, but we see I'm putting notice where the crosshair is there. That's an order block at the top of that black candle. All right, price hit that, stops at 2 now, and I'm also moving the stop to above break even, so I'm covering the cost of the trade, and I'm now in profits. The remaining is on 60 ticks up for the second 2 contracts. It is first in, first out. So I start watching that, and I know at the back of my head, you can't see it here, I didn't purposely hide this from you, but that's just where it recorded, is I'm just literally watching the profit on the combine to say, because I actually don't want to make too much. That is the such thing in the combines for qualifying, is if you have too much profits, they make you make more because that's basically lucky versus good. They want to see consistent profits, which is what I'm aiming for here, daily consistency, versus, YOLOing and getting massive things. So I'm seeing here we're up 100 plus ticks now. Yeah, I could get that top of that fair value gap. That's what I'm hoping it'll spike right to, and it actually does right there, but I don't get filled. That's how close it gets, and I wanted to get ready to move the stop. So in my mind, I'm watching, I'm like, all right, I'm up 100 plus ticks on my current position. I don't need the whole world. So I'm going to probably take this off because I'm seeing triple digit ticks. That's a fantastic move. I can be done with the trade and already locked up my profits. So I see that and I'm like, okay, we're at 80s, 90s. I don't want it to come in to draw down more because I don't like giving profits back. So I'm seeing over 100. So I'm getting ready to modify if it spikes. But I say, all right, no, we're over 100. It might not want to go up, so I'm just going to take the trade off right here. 103. And as I get out, it actually slides right back down, so I'm happy to see that too. So combine account and get this out of the way. This is the 150K. These are all the executed trades that just happened. And we see we are up 684 and 10 cents on the day. I'll take that for a good day of trading. I'm already done. It's 10:30 New York time. I can go about my day and do whatever I need. So let's just make sure I don't have any working orders. Yep, okay, nothing left for working orders. I'm good to go. So you saw the balance there, 151, 277. So we're cruising. So that was the trade review for today. There's the back, 16,720. Had I waited, it would have been that much easier. So hope you enjoyed that. If questions, comments, concerns, whatever you got, throw me a comment, and I'll keep doing this, and I hope it helps. Remember, tomorrow is not promised. Make sure you live today. Have a great day.